this video, we're going to look at the 13 key features of a loan agreement. So when somebody goes out to get a loan, what features can you expect to find in an agreement? And also, if you are giving a loan to somebody, what features will you ensure you place in an agreement? So it can work both ways depending on what side of the fence you are actually sitting on. The first feature, of course, is the date. When was this loan taken out? We want to know, because that informs us of when they're going to pay back and how they're going to pay back. Then the second thing we'll find is the names and addresses of both parties. Both the lender and the borrower's names and addresses will also be featured in the agreement. The third thing is the next of kin, probably from the borrower. The lender will want to know who is the borrower's next of kin, just in case they need to get hold of the person. The other feature is the purpose of the loan. And one might wonder why that feature is there. It's important because some people may receive money and use it to run a different kind of business. So the lender wants to know, by agreement signed and sealed, that the money will be used for the purpose of which it was obtained, as opposed to being spent on something else. So they want to know, because they can retract the agreement if they discover that the loan was not used for the purpose for which it was given. So it's important to have that feature in the loan agreement. Again, collateral. Is there collateral? Is there a house put down for in case there's a default, or what's going to happen? Because many loans, depending on the size, will require you to have a collateral for the loan itself. So that could be an important feature. Some loans do not require it, but depending on the size of the loan, they might require it. Again, we can look at another feature that will be in a loan agreement, a guarantor. Who is the guarantor of this loan? Some loans require a guarantor, some do not. It just depends on who you are borrowing the money from. A guarantor is the person who guarantees to pay back the money if the borrower does default on payments. The other feature to find is the amount and interest. How much exactly is being borrowed, and what is the interest? Is it 10% interest? Is it annual? Is it 10% a month? Is it 10% a year? Or is it 10% a day? There's some loans that are 10% a day, some loans that are 29% a month, 50% a month, 100% a month. It just depends on where you get the money from. So it wants to be included in the agreement what the amount is and what the interest is. And somewhere along there, it could also have the total payment. I want to say something now, because I know it's not on this particular slide, is how much is the redemption amount? If somebody wants to redeem the whole loan in one go, how can it be redeemed? What's the interest then? Does the interest vary or not? Another feature to look for is the payback period. Is it going to be paid by installments, and what's the end date of the actual payments? Installments could be a monthly installment, a weekly installment, a quarterly installment, but generally speaking, it tends to be more of a monthly installment. Then the other feature would be late charges. If the person does not pay the money on time, how much of an interest will be charged? That needs to be specified, and that's good for both the borrower and the lender to know that. And then we can look at a matter of default. If somebody defaults, which means they have not paid for either a particular installment, or the default totally on the particular debt. So what's going to happen then? What recourse does the lender have to ensure they get back their money? So I'm going to come back with more features on the next video.